Hello and welcome. You're with IndiaPostLive.com, India's first live conversation web television. This is one portal where all of you can interact with us live even as the conversations are on. You just have to click and send us a participation request. If you have an opinion on any of the topics we are discussing, all you have to do is send us your posts, leave us your audio and video comments, and of course tweet us #IndiaPostLive and @IndiaPostLive. Well, we are discussing FIFA World Cup 2014 and how it is the world's biggest social media event so far. Well, yes, the FIFA World Cup 2014 is not just the world's most interesting contest between countries, between matches, between teams, between players, but it is also a contest of audience, viewership and engagement numbers. We are going to talk about that. First, let's take a quick look at this audiovisual.
Social media and FIFA World Cup are both fundamentally global. The world is now a mobile stadium where people connect and engage during the tournament. It has also seen unprecedented levels of conversation on social media. The Cup's opening match between hosts Brazil and Croatia clocked 12.2 million tweets alone. This can be a surprise for many, but not when you consider that football-crazy Brazil has the fifth most Twitter users in the world. Cristiano Ronaldo, considered the best football player in the world by some, was mentioned on Twitter 1.5 million times during the United States-Portugal match. Facebook had 20 million interactions during the same match. According to Twitter data, there were 8 million tweets about the match while it was happening. The concept of hash flags have been introduced for the first time. When a user tweets the hashtag for a World Cup team, the nation's flag appears as an image beside it. Sporting events always drive a massive amount of conversation on social media, but what we have seen so far during the World Cup has been extraordinary. So if you're not connected, then you're surely missing out on the biggest fun.
So an unprecedented traffic on social media for the FIFA World Cup 2014. Well, to talk about that, I have in the studio Aninda Das. Aninda is a football correspondent with Tatpols.in. Tatpols is an entrepreneurial venture on sports. You promote young talent.
Talent basically.
Right, great. That is a wonderful initiative. In fact, we did have a conversation on them too a few days back. And of course, we also have Rakesh Tripathi, who is the managing partner of Good Bad Weird. Now, Good Bad Weird is a social media initiative, and very interestingly, they had done IPL. The last IPL was they had done it. They had done the social media. You had done the social media.
I had handled personally an account for
an account.
U Broadband. They had a character named Rojo, and it was avatar of Rajnikant.
Achha.
So I was handling that profile and was tweeting something quirky or something interesting.
We must hear your experience on how the IPL experience was, and of course how the FIFA experience is going to be. We also have in the studio, our online guest, Prateek. Prateek is an avid blogger, and I can assure you that he's going to, bombard the two of you with some very witty comments. Prateek, welcome to the conversation. How are you?
I'm good, friend. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. We also have Ronnie. Ronnie is again another very, very avid football enthusiast. Ronnie, welcome to the conversation. I would like to, can you hear me, Ronnie?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, all right. I would also like to, formally welcome Aninda and Rakesh to the studio. Tell us, we are saying that so far, FIFA World Cup 2014 has been a phenomenal experience in terms of social media traffic.
Yeah, we can say. Actually, if you look at my experience, I was not watching match yesterday, and I was just following whole match through Twitter only. So they are live tweeting the matches, and the score updates are coming.
Right.
And if you follow the hashtag, you can get the news minute
It's
by
like a
minute.
running commentary
it's
on
like
Twitter.
running commentary, and expert comments are coming
Mm-hmm.
through various people. You are connected to millions of people through Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So you are connected and you are watching with millions of people.
So,
At the same time.
Ananda, will it be correct to say, you know, a lot of marketing, it is after all a marketing activity. You know, they are saying that you are missing out on the fun if you're not on social media.
Yeah, I agree with that because leaving aside the telecast that Sony 6 is giving us regarding the matches, social media gives you a different experience altogether. You
How?
can interact with the fans. You can interact with your competitors. You can interact with people who support different teams. So it invokes a different kind of emotion. You can comment about teams. You can share your thoughts if a team will win or lose. So it's a wide open space where you can write anything about your teams, and there is no restriction. That's the best part.
So you're trying to say that instead of when, you know, the traditional media where you have a television, you have families
Exactly.
sitting together and fighting with each other about
Exactly,
that,
yeah.
you're actually fighting with
Yeah.
each other in the social media
Exactly.
space.
So that has assumed a different angle altogether now.
Uh-huh.
Now with the people going rampant on Twitter, I think if we've seen the statistics now, it's like the numbers are amazing. That's what.
The numbers are unprecedented,
unprecedented,
right?
yeah.
All right. Let's bring in Prateek here. Prateek, what has the FIFA experience been like for you in terms of social media? Are you actually watching the match on television, or are you following it more on social media?
To tell you the truth, that I've been following the matches more on social media rather than on TV.
Okay.
Because the timings usually don't suit me, and
Okay.
because the match comes live at 3:30 a.m. So hardly have most of us are not night owls that we will just sit around waiting for the match, and but on social media, type of crowd that is there and the type of conversations that are happening around FIFA, around this World Cup. For any sporting event, either it's IPL or any other match, there are a lot of conversations happening on social media sites, on Facebook, Twitter. But for football, it has just, it's just increased exponentially. Uh, it's beyond belief.
All right. Ronnie, let me get you in now.
Yeah.
Would you say that the entire popularity, the viewership, the interest as far as FIFA World Cup 2014 goes, would you agree that social media has a lot to do with the increase in that? More and more people are actually getting hooked to the World Cup thanks to social media?
Yeah, because actually, when I'm watching a match,
Yeah.
you can directly tweet to the team manager if you know their hashtags properly and everything. And for example, if I take yesterday's match, like USA versus Portugal match,
Yeah.
it pulled around 3.7 million tweets in the initial few minutes, like in a 2 or 3 minute time. There were around 3.7 million tweets just from US. Okay, so that's the amount of attraction what the social media is gaining, and the fans also who can actually tweet and what to say. Even if the matches are going on, they can actually talk to each other on the social media platform.
All right. So you are reiterating the point that Ananda made. You know, let me ask you. You know, since you're the social media expert, your followers on Twitter, the hashtags you have with, I'm talking of a player, that actually is an equity in terms of the brand
Yes.
equity of a player now, right?
Yes, if you look at the Cristiano Ronaldo's followers on Twitter, they have around 26 million followers. If he tweets something, it reaches to approx 26 million people.
Right.
So he itself is a media. If he's conveying something, his tweet is reaching to 26 million people. So that's the thing. If you are the part of that conversation, you can also reach to several people.
Right. And also, let me ask you, Ananda, you know, we have seen that from 8 in the evening to 4 in the morning, you know, is when there is a
this boom.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, also that is a time when many housewives, it's time for the GEC, it's time for the soaps, the Saas Bahu serials, if I may. So, what does that indicate? Are we looking at a multi-platform avenue for these matches that people are actually moving away from traditional media and getting more into social media their laptops and computers to watch
See,
the
the
match?
most interesting thing about social media, what I feel, is the
Yeah.
awareness that has created in the last 5-6 years. You go back to 2009 and 8, people in India is known as a cricketing nation, everyone knows that.
Yes.
So the awareness that social media platforms like your Facebooks and your Twitter has created, now an average Indian football fan, he knows his footballers. You compared with 2008, they didn't know. Now we are called a cricketing nation.
Yeah.
So, but if you see the numbers, we are also coming up as a footballing nation. Now with the Under 17 World Cup coming up in a few years, it is very important for us to grow as a footballing nation as well. Fan following is very important. If people from your country, they don't have the sufficient knowledge about football, you cannot organize tournaments. So I think social media here has played a very big role in popularizing the sport in the country.
All right.
And I think you will know the numbers, how many tweets are coming from India.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Right now, I don't have much
That's
data.
okay, tentative.
Tentative, like he was saying, Ronaldo was mentioned 1.5 million times during US-Portugal matches. So, but he scored only one goal. 3 haircuts, 1 goal. That's why it might be coming on that way also. So there are so many perspective of every subject or every tweet or every mention.
Okay.
So those are the things.
Okay, we are joined, I think, by Chinoy Kapoor. Chinoy is an avid football enthusiast. He joins us. Chinoy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi, Chinoy. Welcome to India Post Live.
Thank you.
We are talking about how the World Cup is so far the world's largest social media event ever, and also in India. We are also bringing in the Indian perspective. Tell us your thoughts on that. Have you been, how has social media really done it for you as far as watching the matches this time is concerned?
See, being very honest,
Yeah.
football has always been a very major sport throughout the world. So, talking about India, it's gaining popularity. And it has gained popularity, and everybody is on. And, we Indians, we have a very good mentality. We always keep running after some things that, that are actually really popular. Because everybody wants to stay in touch with the popular things. That is the hit list on the hit list right now. So right now it's the World Cup. So, the various social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, they're even gaining more popularity as well with this sport. So yeah, I'm pretty sure, yes. And I also know that you guys also might be knowing that, this football thing is really catching up in India as well.
Great. Okay, let me bring in Ronnie now again. Ronnie?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, this time the football has, the World Cup has thrown up a lot of surprises. Spain is out. Italy is out. Am I right in saying Portugal is out? Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, Portugal is also out.
Okay, thank goodness. Okay, I'm right. All right. Now, do you think that, if you talk of the marketing, of course, this question I will ask Rakesh as well. As far as marketing of these events go, a lot of social media companies also back certain hashtags of certain teams, right? Of certain, Ronnie, of certain players of these teams. Now that these teams are out, how do you think, hasn't that really caused a dent as far as social media is concerned?
It's not because I have seen many fans who just came in. They know that their team won't go ahead to semi-finals or winning to World Cup, but they have, with their supporting spirit, and they are such diehard fans of their players and their country. They really want to support them, and off the field also after the match, they keep tweeting to the players and to the team managers. And where all do they think, like yesterday, I would say Cristiano Ronaldo would have made another record, missing the maximum number of goals.
Yes.
So
He was on a hat trick, right? Yeah. Was
no,
he?
he was not on a hat trick. He just scored one.
He scored one goal. Okay, all right.
The first one was a self goal by Ghana itself. So whatever saying, the players or the fans are such diehard fans that they really want to interact with the players and using the hashtags, and most of the people who are not there on who are not watching the match, they get up, open the social media, the Facebook, the Twitter, anything, and they get to know each and everything, what went through the match, what was the referee, how was the referee's part and the player's part, and which player played how much, and like the Suarez part. Most of
Yeah,
them got to know when the next day when what all things incident happened and the FIFA the decisions what were taken.
All right. Okay. Let me now at this point, Ronnie and everyone, let me bring in Chaitanya. Chaitanya is a sports journalist, an avid, football. Should I use the word freak? Because I just called Chinoy an enthusiast. All right, he is like this encyclopedia. An encyclopedia. Let's just call him an encyclopedia. Chaitanya, we are discussing how social media has contributed to in fact popularizing and taking the interest and the excitement of football to new levels in India. Give us your perspective on that.
I think it's a high time that India caught up to this tech-savvy 140 character age of Twitter, because all of us with these matches of the and the timings of the World Cup are really stuck in a pickle, because you might miss a game because you have work the next day, or you were getting late off work
Right.
during the game. So if with these apps and these live streaming things and all these widgets that we have, it's just a touch away from being absolutely pitch side close to the action, because all these hashtags and all these 140 character predictions do make a difference. Well, of course, there's nothing next to actually watching the game or being there at the game, but you try to get as close as you can. So I think Twitter and all these other social media networks are doing a very good job also, because a lot of people then want to up. There's that whole thing of upmanship that you try to tell someone they don't know. It's like a whole exchanging factoid machine somewhere in some way.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much for bringing that point up. Yes. No, I can tell you that, Chaitanya, that I receive a lot of live commentary on WhatsApp from my colleagues, and late in the night, I don't normally switch off my phone, and late in the night, there will be some ping that comes, and I'll be like groggy-eyed, and then I know that okay, somebody has scored a goal and somebody has done really well, or so that's actually my knowledge bank. Let me come back to you, Rakesh. We are talking of social media, and this is also a huge, humongous marketing activity, right? Like we were just talking. Tell us about that and the Indian angle, with an Indian angle.
As far as marketing is concerned, if you want to leverage from such a big event, which is not scripted, and you are saying England is out and Italy is out and big teams are out,
teams are out,
you'll have to join the conversation as things are coming. Like Suarez thing happened. So many brands also leverage from that point of view. They joined the conversation. Some Whataburger brand tweeted like, if he had a Whataburger, he won't be that hungry to bite someone. So so these brands joined the conversation. So you will have to leverage as the things are coming. Some wrong decision happened by referee.
A lot of anger.
So those angles we will have to leverage through those angles.
And it's instant, right?
Yeah, it should be instant. It should be real time.
You get angry and you immediately tweet something, use a lot of cuss words, and it goes right out there in the cyberspace.
I
Right?
would also like to talk about the UEFA here. When you compare European football to American football, you should also pay a lot of credit to the UEFA or European football, the way they have marketed their teams. I mean, you know more about the English Premier League than your Mexican league.
Yes.
So now that all the big European teams are out of the World Cup, social media is in a frenzy. What do? So now the World Cup is giving you new stars from South America. So that's what I feel. It is a diverse world out there. Things keep changing. So there was a time when UEFA was giving you players. Now South America will give you players back.
Okay.
So and this is another chance for the social media houses to pounce on them. So it will never end. Players will come up. That's what
India is in the top 5 countries when it comes to tweets.
That's because of the population, I
Pop-
guess.
yeah. All right, that
In-
true.
also
But
in internet population.
internet population. Yes, you're right. Okay, so now give us your perspective. Tell us a little bit, very briefly though, about your IPL experience, how you marketed it. I just want to understand the kind of marketing that social media companies really do to ensure that kind of traction on social media for an event.
If you are doing marketing, what I think,
Yeah.
it's my personal point of view.
Surely.
If you want to market something on social media, you don't need to put it directly. You can't sell the things directly. You have to join the conversation, be part of the conversation, and just subtly put the brand. Like so many YouTube channels, the Viral Fever and AIB are doing. They are creating good content and they are certainly putting some brands on it. When I was doing, I was handling IPL project. I was handling a Twitter account. It was avatar of Rajnikant, and the name was Rojo.
Rojo, yeah.
Rojo. So I was tweeting on behalf of Rojo, and I was tweeting something quirky, and I was subtly putting some mentioning brand through my tweets.
Okay,
So
okay.
that's what happened.
So what is the kind of response you got? What is the kind of response Rojo got rather?
So I got a lot of response. It was very quick, and I got lots of mentions and number of followers increased in 2 months, around 500 to 1,000.
All right.
That too only organic, not paid.
Okay, Prateek, you have been, like you said, avidly following the matches through social media. Social media has also thrown up a new phenomenon. I don't know if you're aware of it. It's called the Shufi. Are you aware of the Shufi? And have you taken Shufis?
No, I haven't taken shoe fees.
Why?
I'm not into any selfies, either shoe fees or wall fees or any other kind of selfies. I mean, leave me out of that one, please.
Okay, we'll leave you out of that. Now, what has your contribution been? Have you been tweeting when you're angry about something? Did you tweet about Suarez? What has your contribution been as a content generator? Not just about learning about the matches, but being an active participant yourself.
Well, I wasn't really angry about what Suarez did. I mean, he did anything. I mean, the Uruguay team should be angry about it, which they aren't apparently. But I just found it a good opportunity to make some jokes and get my own.
Thank you. I was waiting for your jokes, Prateek. I'm aware that you're very witty. Tell us a joke. Come on.
You know that it's quite impossible when someone suddenly asks you tell a joke, then your mind suddenly goes blank and you
Yeah,
don't
no,
have
mine
anything
does.
to say.
Yours can't. Okay, you think of a joke, Prateek. We'll get back to you right at the end of the conversation. Please think of something that you've actually shared on social media. We'll come back to you. Chaitanya, can I please talk to you about this Shufi experience? Do you know of anybody?
I'm not aware. No, I'm not aware of what this means, what it entails. I do not know this word. I do not understand this word.
You do not understand this word. Okay, this is apparently a derivative of the selfie. It is a Shufi, and in fact, from aligning contests to sharing limited edition FIFA sportswear, the idea of clicking your own footwear, that seems to be the in thing now, and it is set to gain popularity. See, I also educated you on something, Chaitanya. I'm feeling so
Yes,
happy
you
now.
did, and I'm very, very glad. And I have not ever indulged in a selfie or a Shufi or a.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I have these two people online. Ronnie, have you indulged in selfies or shufis? Both my online guests haven't. They hate it. They hate the very idea of it. What about you?
Even I hate it.
Okay, so all right. So that probably means that probably it's not going to be as popular as people are touting it to
I
be.
just want to add one point.
Huh.
That when you spoke about the India being the number one country to indulge in FIFA World Cup page or Facebook page, like I have an interesting fact that there were other countries followed by India. Indonesia is number 2 and US is number 3. Okay, and with apart from FIFA World Cup page on Facebook, like Nokia gained around 120,000 new followers or likes on Facebook, followed by Zolo, Reliance Industries, Sunsilk, and all other things. So even in India with FIFA World Cup, it's The FIFA World Cup, I would say FIFA World Cup is promoting social media, not social media is promoting World Cup, FIFA World Cup.
Ronnie,
Yeah, Pratik has a comment.
about your point that India being the largest generator of content over social media on FIFA, we can also that also proves that we Indians are the largest brand tourists. We may or
Yes.
may not be part of the the social the FIFA of FIFA World Cup, or may not play football, but suddenly during the World Cup, everyone wants to be a part of the in crowd. So
Yeah.
Okay.
that could also be one reason.
Right. Let me just, can I just quickly get in another point here? You know, we talked of the Indian angle. You also have various celebrities like John Abraham, like Abhishek Bachchan. Now, they have been very actively. So, again, their followers, you know, thanks to the tweets or thanks to the statuses that they receive, they also automatically become interested in football just because the
of
person they adore, you know, is there, right? What is your comment on that?
That's the whole point of bringing
It's
John
not just about-
Abraham for
yeah.
the match analysis.
Right.
He is not a player. He's a celebrity. Just to bring a different perspective and just to bring his fan following.
Yeah, that's the celebrity channel. I think
channel.
what social media houses are doing now. So this is a way to engage more fans. I mean, a person like Abhishek Bachchan or
Yeah.
John Abraham will obviously have millions and millions of followers. This is another, I think, mechanism by which you people engage more football fans for the World Cup.
Correct.
Right. All right. Pratik, final comments on this phenomenon of social media. Now, let me very quickly also ask you. See, we saw elections 2014. That was, in fact, several foreign publications and media houses called it a Twitter election this time. Now we are seeing FIFA 2014 being the biggest social media event also in India. Now, after the World Cup, what happens? Do we see a lull? Does everything go quiet?
Could be. I mean, could be, because you see, if we look at the numbers here, or the official FIFA numbers, we can see that 358 million Facebook users have been reached by the official FIFA social content, right? But suddenly, once the matches, once the World Cup is over, then obviously the amount of content will reduce. So obviously the number of followers might also reduce, because like I just said, that in India most are brand tourists. They're just
Okay.
there to, it's the in thing.
Okay. Ronnie, what is your perspective on that? Thanks, Pratik. Ronnie, what is your perspective on that? Do you see a lull, a sudden quiet in the social media after the World Cup?
In comparison to FIFA World Cup, it would be quite less. But soon in August, the EPL would be starting, and Bundesliga and other leagues would be starting in.
Yeah.
So of course, in comparison to FIFA World Cup, yeah, it would be a little less.
Ronnie, very quickly in one sentence, what can we look forward to as far as we Indians are concerned?
Look forward to in what sense?
In terms of social media, we had the elections and we had FIFA, so the next is EPL?
Yeah, EPL in comparison to World Cup, it would be quite less, but there would be
There
still
would be an
people involved
increased
in-
interest in EPL, right?
Yeah.
Is that
yeah,
what you say?
that's-
All right. Ronnie, thank you so much. Final comments from you, Rakesh, on where we are going as far as such mega events and social media are concerned.
See, after first you talked about elections, then we came to FIFA. Now, if the time is free, we'll come with another Alok Nath thing. Those are also user-generated content.
Okay.
And we can come with such quirky
So
trends.
social media, no matter what, will find something to be
Those
alive.
people will come up with new ideas,
Okay.
new things, new trends. So there won't be any lull.
All right.
So I don't think so.
Thanks, Rakesh. Thanks. Your perspective.
Yeah, I believe everything boils down to the user's preference at the end of the day. I mean, obviously, social media will attach themselves to whatever the people of India they prefer. See, cricket is any day preferred over football here. And nowadays, we're seeing a growing trend where people are starting to like football.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very good market for the social media team to promote football. With the EPL coming up, I think it's the best way to promote
But it's
football
also
now.
time for Indians to start playing football now.
Exactly.
All right.
About-
All right. Thank you so much, Pratik. I hope you have a joke for us before we end the conversation.
No, not a joke, but I hope that India Post Live will come up with some new content once the FIFA World Cup is over, to keep the passion alive on on social media platforms.
All right. Thank you so much. The conversation continues on IndiaPostLive.com as Prateek just said, and I hope all of you are going to send us your audio and video comments on the topic we just talked about. Your posts and your tweets at #IndiaPostLive and @IndiaPostLive are more than welcome. Thank you so much for watching. I would like to thank my studio guests as well for joining the conversation. Thanks. Bye-bye.